Okay. If you can hear me and see me, let me know real quick. If you can hear me and see me, let me know real quick if you can. Fireside chat is rolling, folks. Hang on one second. Let me make a couple of quick adjustments. There we go. Good evening. Is this a fireside chat? Sharon says. You nailed it. Welcome in, Sharon. Good to see you tonight. Let me know if you can hear me and see me. Sharon over on the Booker's hanging out with us. Sally is here and ready. Bruce is in. Mary's on X and locals. She's what I like to call a extra achiever tonight. Good to see you. Doug is here. Abel's here. Dina says 5x5. Love it. And make sure the folks on Rumble can see us too. We got the YouTube open tonight as well. So the tubers are in the house. All right. So what we've got a couple of things to talk about. First of all, fireside chat. If you've never been here before, welcome in. We do a daily show every day, 9 a.m. until about 10:30, 11 some days, on Facebook and Twitter, X, Rumble, you name it, right? We do these fireside chats, and the cool thing about them, or the actual show, is that we talk about all the things that they can't or won't talk about in the news, and you get all of that good information. And I think probably the best part is the chat. And I'm not just talking about tonight. Obviously, we're going to do Ask Me Anything. You can get into all kinds of good stuff, but I'm talking about the people that you'll meet, the people that come in and hang out and have a great time. People make lifelong friendships. So anyway, copy 10-4. Now let me know where you're watching from too tonight. That's definitely going to be a piece of it. And we're on Deer Watch tonight, and here's why. Maybe I can share this video. I can't share it tonight, but maybe I can share it with you tomorrow. But I'm sitting out here getting ready for the fireside chat tonight, and you won't believe what happens. It's crazy. I see a deer come by. I think that was back in this area, okay? Or maybe it was over here, actually. She came over. She stood like over here, like in this, like back over here. Yeah, there we go. For a minute, just stood there. And actually, this is on Instagram. I put it up earlier tonight. And she just stood there and hung out for a minute. I go, oh, you're here for the fireside chat, huh? And then she like moseyed on off across the yard back here and went into the neighbor's yard. I don't know, 5, 10 minutes later, whatever it was, I hear this noise coming out of the back of our woods here. And maybe we'll hear it tonight. Maybe we'll see the deer. They'll make another appearance. I had a guy mowing his yard just a second ago, and I'm glad he stopped right before we came on. So that's kind of cool. But all of a sudden, and it sounds like a child. I don't know what is that my kid? What is that I hear? Mama! Or Mom! Mom! Kind of like that. I'm like, what was that? We've lived here over a decade. We've lived here 13, almost 15 years. I've never been in this back. I hang out. I live back here during the summer. I just live back here. And I love it. I love outside. During the summertime, this is my favorite place to be. But I've never heard anything like this. Never seen anything like it. All of a sudden, the deer comes racing back from where it was. It comes back to the shed back here, and it kind of stands there for a second. He's looking around, and it goes back into the woods. I think what I heard was the baby, I'm a guess, calling, the only thing I can think of, calling for the mom. So we're on deer watch tonight because we might see that deer come back. We might hear that. I've never heard. Have you ever heard that, Sharon? Baby deer cries? I've never heard that. Sharon's in Sparta tonight. Sarah, good to see you in Florida, Eastern Iowa in the house. Good to see you. Sherry's in Michigan. Do you have a cigar ready? Doug? I do. It's my favorite. The El Jefe, La Roma da Cuba. Fired up and ready to go. Fired up and ready to go. So anyway, we're sort of on alert for that. And like I said, I'll probably have the video that I can share with you tomorrow morning, but it was just the weirdest thing. I've never seen it. Now, Sherry has heard the baby. I've never heard baby deer before. Let me give you another, like just something, an added layer of this. And by the way, yeah, we got very important stuff to talk about tonight. The Doomsday plane in D.C. It's been spotted there. What's it doing there? It's normally based in Louisiana. Barksdale, I guess. Hey, Terry, good to see you. Welcome in tonight. We appreciate you. And we had a moment. By the way, Lizzie caught this on tape. She's hanging out in the hammock with the girls, and she sees this deer come out, and all of a sudden, they have a deer that they can see in the back of the woods there, that's on the edge of the woods, like in the back, behind the tree line, so to speak. And our dog is out walking because that's what our dog does. Is our dog just roams, you know. She's a lab, yellow lab mix. But the friendliest you'll never see, you know, unless it's like another person or a stranger, then she's kind of a guard dog. But just completely oblivious to all of this. And we got video of this. The deer comes out stalking our dog, stalking her, comes out of the woods and attacks her, like jumps on our dog's back, completely unprovoked. So we watch this, and the girls keep asking about it. Finally, well, actually, she asked it the other day, our 4-year-old. Daddy, why did the deer jump on Daisy's back? So it's like, well, we think there were babies back there, and this deer was protecting the babies. That's what we think was going on. So now it's confirmed. There are definitely babies back there. I don't know if if they stay back there, if they've been back there all summer. They're going to stay back there. And I don't know what the whole life cycle of the deer is. And is it a spring thing? Are they done at some? But anyway, dog was fine. Probably just had a bruised ego more than anything. But I'm watching a bunny hop across. We got all kinds of stuff back here. Bunnies, like you wouldn't believe it. There's even a whistle pig back here. Groundhog, deer. Occasionally we get turkeys. Lots of big birds, crows, things like that flying through the air. Every now and then, a couple of times, I've seen a bald eagle. We've got water around us, so that's something that is not uncommon. But it's probably been a year or so since I've seen the bald eagle. So it's always wild. You just never know what you're going to get. You never know what you're going to get when you're sitting back here, and that's why it's kind of interesting to see this fireside chat. Now that is the fire pit, and it's kind of cooler tonight. Although I know the next few days we're really supposed to heat up here. We're going to get into the 90s, but that rain kind of cooled things down here, and it's actually really nice. I probably should be in my hoodie. I hope I don't get too chilly out here, sitting out here tonight. But what are we looking at right now? Do I have 72? Is what it looks like. Yeah, we get chipmunks too. Although I should say we had chipmunks, but no longer. Thanks to our good friends at Tough Turf Mole Busters. Give them a plug. Tough Turf Mole Busters. Not only do they take care of moles, but they hang Christmas lights on your house. We've done that before. They did a great job at that. And the other thing that they are good at is getting rid of all of the little critters that you may find a nuisance. Judy says, we have deer very often, turkeys, eagles fly over a lot, coyotes at night that we hear. I haven't heard any time. I'm in the city-ish. It looks like I'm further out, like in the middle of nowhere here, but you really around the corner from us, you can get to anything and everywhere. It's really kind of a unique place. That's why we kind of like it here. But anyway, if you're just tuning in tonight, click share. Somebody who shares either on Facebook or Rumble or X is going to get a membership into our VIP Freedom Fam tonight. So when we eventually do go for the Freedom Fam members, the VIPs, by the way, it's just $7 a month. If you want to join, we're doing some really cool things over there. Exclusive interviews that you get access to every day. My secret show prep, so you can see and go through all the stories, the videos, the things that I'm looking at on a daily basis before they go out. So we're going to give one of those away tonight to somebody that actually clicks this broadcast, clicks share on it, or reposts over on Rumble. X, if you repost, you can repost over on Rumble as well. Gritter, good to see you, man. How are you? He's over on Rumble tonight. Is he playing? Is it double duty? Is he Rumble and locals? Interesting. We had a medium snapping turtle under our camper all day yesterday, Dean says. It did not lay eggs. I've never had that happen. Wondering if it is ill. It was gone this morning. The kids were playing with turtles. Saw a big snapping turtle at the lake, the cottage, earlier this week. Oh, look at that. Holy cow. I've had the baby sit this one a couple of times in my yard, Terry says. Holy smokes. How old do you think that one is, Terry? I wish I could share this one with people. It's a little fawn. Adorable. Chipmunks and squirrels are destructive creatures. Junkman, good to see you tonight. I'm glad you made it in. We did this last week, and I was missing you. I know that you would appreciate it. Perfect weather for a stick outside, though. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate you. Yeah, we'll grab our winner tonight here in just a little bit, but thank you for sharing. We definitely need your help to get the word out. What are you doing? Chewing on a log? Yeah, that's my preferred. That's my favorite right there. The El Jefe, La Roma de Cuba. So anyway, lots going on in the meantime. You got questions for me? Drop them in the chat. Want to hear from you. Ask me anything. It can be show related. It can be news related. It can be related to absolutely nothing, but you're just curious. Anything and everything. I'll answer those questions tonight when we do that. Ask me anything. Opportunity to do it, and I mean it. So ramp them up. Ramp them up. All right, so I want to address this because I saw this happening online today, and I thought, okay, let me get on top of it because I think people are going to be in fear mode over this, and I don't want you to be. But the Doomsday plane, which was used September 11th, it's like kind of a command post type of thing. They get it up in the air. I don't know if the president flies on this or if if it's only used for like other members of the cabinet or whatever. But they get this thing up and running and flying in case they need it. So it can survive, Wow, look at this. I mean, I've just put it on Twitter real quick so I can find this post. The LA Dodgers posted out 5 hours ago. This morning, ICE agents came to Dodger Stadium and requested permission to access the parking lots. They were denied entry to the grounds by the organization. Tonight's game will be played as scheduled. And then ICE actually reposts this over on X and says, false. We were never there. I mean, can you imagine the insanity? It just, the insanity that comes out of some of this stuff right now is just, I would caution you, anything you see online these days, just be careful because there is fog of war. There are psyops, psychological operations happening, everything. And it's all meant to like push you or pull you in one way or the other. Like this Doomsday plane, for example. So what is the Doomsday plane? It's a Boeing E-4B, an airborne command post in case of nuclear war. Now they're talking about it because it's landed near Washington. Here, actually. You could take a look at this. This is the airborne command post. It's landed near Washington. You can tell it's kitted out with all kinds of things that they need inside of it. In fact, I'll tell you exactly what is inside of it. But it can stay, listen to this, it can stay in the sky for weeks and is intended for the president and military command. The last time something like this happened, they're saying, was September 11th. The New York Post has a story about it. The U.S. E-4B Doomsday plane makes unexpected flight to D.C. as Trump weighs Iran strike. So that being said, let me grok it. Let me see what Grok says about this, and we'll dig into it to tell you like exactly what I think is going down. First of all, I'll tell you. Now, why did it flip me again? I think it did this last time. Anytime I switch on this iPad, because I'm using both. Hang on, let me see if I can. There we go. That's a little better. Anytime I flip on this iPad, I think it's going to do that. Let me see if maybe I can fix. Okay. There we go. So I can be able to see two things at once. The E-4B Doomsday plane flight to D.C., as reported by the New York Post, aligns with its historical use during crises, notably its deployment on 9/11 when it orbited Washington, D.C. as part of an operational exercise, suggesting heightened alert status amid Trump's Iran strike deliberations. Recent tensions involve Iran's Fordo nuclear site, where a successful strike requires the GBU 57 bunker buster bomb, but defense officials doubt its effectiveness against the deep underground facility, per a Guardian report, complicating Trump's decision-making process. The E-4B's capability to withstand nuclear blasts and operate for up to 35.4 hours, supported by its 67 satellite dishes, reflects advanced military engineering with a $13 billion replacement contract signed in April 2025, signaling ongoing upgrades to counter emerging threats. Yeah, they have like beds in there for the pilots to sleep and things like that. So here's what I'll tell you. At the same time we have that story going on, first of all, fear not. Anything that is being pushed out there right now, or that you're watching out there right now, I'm not saying there isn't cause for concern with things, but I would be very careful about getting into a spirit of fear on any of this stuff, because a lot of that's what this is designed to do. I think it's just wise. I think it's wise for this plane to be up there. I think it's a smart move for it to be near Washington, D.C. But at the same time, I don't think you have anything to worry about. Trump is going to take all the precautions, all of that stuff that you can imagine that he would be doing and should be doing, he's going to do. Just like he's not going to tell people, are you going to bomb Iran or are you not going to bomb Iran? What are you going to do? He's not going to get into that. We talked about that today. Now, we also have the latest. Trump has decided to delay the decision on whether or not to strike or bomb Iran. That was the latest piece that I had. This is what the New York Daily News says. Trump delays Iran attack decision as Steve Bannon visits the White House. Now, whether the two of those are related or not, I don't know. It's just part of the conversation, we'll say. Maybe there's a link, maybe there's not. We've seen the latest with Bannon and Tucker this week in the podcast that was out. Of course, we saw Tucker with Ted Cruz the other day, and people have been talking about that. But anyway, you've got both of these pieces out there. And by the way, pray for this. Blessed are the peacemakers, right? Pray for peace. I think Trump thinks he can get a deal. So I think they're going to give 2 weeks, as he's been really pounding these guys with this rhetoric, to make sure that, they know he's serious and means business. But the delay is 2 weeks. At least that's what the White House says. Trump's delay in deciding on an Iran attack, though web sources like BBC and the original article indicate Trump's hesitation stems from strategic indecision rather than Bannon's influence, with no peer review evidence. Recent escalations, historical data, yada, yada, yada. This is grok again. But if you read the article, they want you to pay. No, I don't think so. I don't think I do that. I've heard that there were sleeper cells all over the place. I've heard that for years. Yeah, I don't doubt that's a possibility. We talked about that the other day too, actually. With the way the border has been left wide open, we've been left defenseless for the last 4 years. That would not be out of the realm of possibility. Connie says, I feel like something big is coming. Oh my God, I was blacked out for all of the last 15 minutes, Bonnie says, even on locals. I think the locals folks have got us loud and clear. Locals folks. Just making sure. Gritter says he's going to be in his bunker all week, food and water for 3 months. Well, don't tell everybody, man. Don't tell people what you got. Yeah, Dina, actually, I would agree with you. I think the plane is a poker move in some ways. I think the Doomsday plane is part of the like posturing of letting them know, look, we're ready for anything. But I would not get too concerned. Now, I do believe we ought to be praying. Do you think they've activated the terrorist cells here in the U.S.? No. Although there's been some talk about attacks possibly on the 4th of July. Look, I'm not a big crowd person anyway. So what I'm about to say, don't take too much, don't take too much stock of this. I don't love doing crowds anyway, but 4th of July, I probably won't be out at the fireworks, at the city, any big celebrations, things like that. But I don't do that anyway. The best eyes in the skies. Please say a prayer for 2 policemen who were shot in Southgate. Charlene, I'm so sorry to hear that. We'll absolutely add them. Father, we pray your protection over them and healing in Jesus' name. I think he's gone. He's got to make sure they can't get a nuke. Yes, that does seem to be his intention. Schumer wants $600,000 of taxpayer money so illegals can fight the government. Oh boy. Yeah. I think there's a lot to that. So, the Doomsday plane, you have Trump saying he's going to delay this thing a little bit longer. We'll see. If you've watched and listened to everything he said, and we did this the other day on the after show, during the stream anyway, when Trump was out and they're putting the flagpoles up. And you got a chance to see him like talking to real life every day. People, the reporters are around him and all that. And you get to see really him being sort of off the cuff and genuine and authentic. It was really cool. But one of the things, again, with the reporter back and forth, and that one that was asking, when are you going to strike, or are you going to strike, or what are you thinking? Have you taken this out? And he just gets into that whole, yeah, I'm going to tell you. I've got to tell you when I'm going to do it and how it's going to go and all of this other stuff. And I thought to myself, it's so true. He's always said, look, I will never tell you. And this is in debates. He said, I wouldn't say this. I wouldn't say that. I would never tell people what we're going to do. And that goes back to even some of the Afghanistan stuff with Biden, which I thought was kind of funny. But no matter where you're watching tonight, let us know where you're watching from. Love to say hi to you and appreciate you. If you have a question for Ask Me Anything, and get into that if you'd like to as well. I am going to drop the link in the chat if you want to join and become a supporter, a VIP member of the Freedom Fam. We'll have the fam go through your membership application. Although we've never done that. Although maybe we'll start. That's kind of a good idea. Membership application, just $7 a month. That whole idea. I'd never belonged to a club who would have me. I think that was one of the Marx brothers or something that said that. Actually, Groucho Marx, maybe. Yeah. Very, very cool. Tennessee's in the house tonight. Robin, good to see you tonight. Appreciate you being here with us. Saw there's some flooding in is it West North Carolina again, in the Tennessee area. Some issues there we saw. Big news, East Palestine. We know you talk about the forgotten people. Terry, good to see you tonight. There was a big announcement today. We'll talk about this tomorrow as well with RFK, Dr. Bhattacharya, and J.D. Vance, who said they're going to really start digging into the effects of what happened in East Palestine. Is it Palestine? Palestine. Yeah, East Palestine, Ohio. Remember the train derailment? The Biden administration didn't want to have anything to do with it. That was Secretary of Trans, Mayor Pete. And they just didn't want to have anything to do with it. Love the birds in the background. We are in paradise tonight, hanging out with you. Make sure you click share. We're going to get you in the running, by the way, for a VIP membership into Locals. Somebody will win it tonight. Either somebody over here on Facebook, somebody on Rumble, or X. Click share, click repost, and help us get the word out about what we're doing here. Not only daily when we do this show, 9 to 10:30 or so every morning, we bring you up to speed with what's happening around the world in the news. But we also do these fun fireside chats. We got podcasts every week that we put out as well. This weekend, we're going to be talking about the Karen Read trial. Who watched this thing? I admittedly have been unplugged, and part of that, I believe, because I don't know about you, but this seems like there's so much else going on in the world right now. Some people, I think, were watching it for a little relief from everything else that's going on in the world right now. But I just sort of I know a little bit about the trial. I know a little bit about who she is. But we're going to dig into that. Plus, we're going to be talking about in the podcast this weekend with somebody who was there, boots on the ground in East Palestine, who actually got a chance to see everything that was going on there and how bad things were. Talk about that. Lois, good to see you. I normally listen on Rumble, but I'm here tonight. Good to see you. Appreciate you being here with us. I'm just tired of not seeing arrests of any of these evil people. Well, some of them we're starting to see, and I would say brace yourself, because I think we're going to see even more in the very near future. All right, I'm popping over to Locals. You want to come on over and watch it? Enjoy the party. You can watch for free or become a member if you like inside, but it's free to watch at justinbarclay.com/locals. So we're going to dive into lots of spicy stuff that we can't talk about here or anywhere else for that matter. The good folks on Locals know what I'm talking about. Censorship free. Join the party. Love to see you inside. And I'll give a shout out to our winner tonight as soon as we make the shift. So come on over, justinbarclay.com/locals. Join the fun.